Hello, I'm Elizabeth, and this is your planning mentor. Today we're going to be going through the March setup in my planner system. And so I have an A5 sterling ink vertical. I also have a Hobonichi weeks, and I use the power sheets. I'll also be pulling some things from my Planning for Self-Care workbook, and I will be talking about seasonal planning instead of quarterly planning or the 12-week year. Here's my stack. Let's start with the Hobonichi weeks, and I have some pens here. This is one of the new last year mild liners. I can't remember what color this is called. Here's my month. We're going to use these stickers from the Sterling Ink March kit, and I will put a card up there for you if you want to watch that. And then I always like to use this longer sticker from the freebie in this bottom corner down here. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, I like to put a tracker for the month down here, and we have these days that probably I'm not going to have anything in those days, but I'm willing to sacrifice that real estate for my tracker. So I have those written in. Now I'm going to write my dates in, and I write those at the bottom. I could do it along the top, but this is how I've been doing it. I'm going to write my items that I'm tracking, and that is my self-care. I'm going to get that from this book. I have my lists back here of yearly, quarterly, monthly, and weekly self-care and daily self-care. And there are a lot of items here, but some of them go into, like my first one is quiet time. Some of those items have to do with quiet time. So I have quiet time, which is spiritual self-care, emotional, which is emotional self-care. These are readings that I do, or if I were to see a counselor or do something like that. Reading, getting outside, walking, physical self-care. Outside is physical self-care. Reading is intellectual self-care. Exercise, physical self-care. Vibration plate, physical self-care. Learning, intellectual self-care. And goals is intellectual self-care. So that is it for what I do monthly at the beginning for my Hobonichi weeks. Here is my Sterling Ink 2026 Common Planner Vertical. Let's go ahead and change out our little card here. And this is the March card from Sterling Ink. And I like to put that right here. I just change it out. A little decorative accent. And then we will work on our monthly. And I am using this kit from Simple Paper. Now I'm going to build my corners down here. And I've them already. The large washi goes here. I have a Graceful Muse papery sticker that I'll put down here when I receive it. And it'll look something, it'll be 03, that chapter. I usually put this all the way in the corner, but because we have these two dates, I'm going to leave them open so that I can write things in there. And we've got this train washi. I'm going to use this little all aboard, put that up here. And this was all about, I can't remember what the kit was called, but it was something about traveling towards spring or something like that. It was really cute. Look how beautiful that is. We have our big stamp. I will put that down here in this corner. And then I like to use this film strip to decorate my sidebar here. I'll use these stickers to designate big projects, those type of things. But you can see how pretty it looks by the end of the month. Let's go ahead and put on our March tabs. And I realize next month I'm going to need to put the tabs on before I put the sticker down. So cute. I also have my March weekly. And my March. I realized my book is in the wrong place for this. So this is my March sticker, and these are my pages where I do journaling. And I don't know if you want to call it bullet journaling exactly, just journaling, it just ends up being what it needs to be for the day. And I use my Sterling ink date stickers for this area. So that's done. This actually is where we are going to put our vellum. I like to use this product, and the reason I use this book tape is because it is archival. This is what libraries use to fix their books. I want my tape to last. I don't want it to degrade over time. We will fold this over like this. We get this nice and tight in our crease, and we do that. And then on the back, I will use 2 pieces. This creates a nice hinge effect. Just love this vellum for this month. I love the ranunculus and the daffodils and the hellebore. Just gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Next I'm going to use this from Lauren Phelps Design. And I'll build this out as the month goes. I will put another vellum here. I'll get one of these Hello March from Graceful Muse Papery, and I'll put that in there. And then to cover the tape, which you don't need to, but I like to use this long sticker from my Sterling ink kit, and that'll go right there. Here's our Cultivate What Matters 2026 Power Sheets. We'll flip over here to March, but let's do a little February review first. So I had 6 goals right here. One was a particular video 1, video 2, and you can see that I accomplished that. Didn't work in my basement at all this month. Was not on the plan. And part of that is because of this health professional I visited. I started some new supplements and some detox stuff, and so I had a lot of rest in February based on this. So that was part of why I didn't get the basement done. Did not work on either of these blog posts, and this I'm going to carry over because I want to do that for these 2 videos. So you can see that where my progress was. I stayed consistent, kind of. I'm happy with what happened in February based on everything that was going on in my life. And I forgot to track keeping my house tidy, but it was not a mess this whole time, even though there aren't any crosses off. I want to make sure that I'm checking in on this more. Some of these trackers are in my other planners, so I'm able to transfer that over. But I know that I did emotional self-care. I just, again, didn't get to track it. So sometimes we need to remind ourselves that maybe it was that we weren't tracking well, not that we weren't doing what we had. All right, let's flip over to March now. Important to-dos that I have for March. I need to finish my taxes. Goals to make progress on my health, my YouTube channel, on my calendar I have some time with friends, a massage, and I have some health appointments. On my mind is gardening season. That'll be coming up soon. Spring bulbs, just making progress. Oh, on my calendar is also St. Patrick's Day, family dinners. So let's do our breakdown of the goals. So I have video number 1, script, film, B-roll, edit, and upload. And I'm going to put social media here because I've not been the best at that. Then I have video number 2. I'm not sure what that's going to be yet, but it'll still be script, film, B-roll, edit, upload, and social media. These are more long form videos for my channel. These aren't like my unboxings, and I haven't done a plan with me in a while, but those type of videos, those were on my regular routine. These are bigger projects, so that's why I want to make them a goal. And then blog post number 1 from February, blog post number 2 from February. This is blog post number 1, March, which will go with this video, and blog post number 2, which will go with that video. I have a few more goals, and I'm going to put them under monthly goals and projects because I want to work on those weekly, but they don't have anything, they don't have like a step-by-step thing. They're just like, am I making progress? And I want to work on it once a week. So there's a video course I want to go through, and I want to work on the Kindle version of Planning for Self-Care. And then I didn't work on the basement. I think I'm going to put that on the back burner. And we have this room. My kids, when they were little, they called it the cold room because it was a cold room. It's our enclosed front porch, and I have things out there, and I want to organize that space. So we're going to put the cold room down here, and I want to work on that. And by some of the things that are in there, I want to move out of there, and I want to put them in the kitchen and entryway. We have a little bump out on our kitchen that you could call it a mudroom, but it's not really. And so I want to work on that. And so that is a project that I want to have done. And I think the flow will be better for the spring and summer that's coming up. There's also a business that I need to email about a class. I'm excited about that. And then my ongoing health things. And some of that is in self-care that I put, like you'll see in my Hobonichi weeks. Daily work in business. Let's put quiet time, move my body, keep my house tidy, be in my planners, and emotional self-care. One of the things I want to start doing is color coding these for my 4 areas of self-care. And so let's go through first and do spiritual. And moving your body can also be spiritual, but I'm specifically going to make that physical. So you can see my little chart here. So moving my body, we're going to switch to intellectual now, and I know I have a lot of intellectual, especially in this planner. So all of my business things, they are intellectual for me. Be in my planner, that's intellectual. It's also emotional because it's artistic, but I'm going to make it have it be intellectual first. And then my emotional self-care. Now, keeping my house clean, keeping my house tidy, for me is more about my emotional health. When I have an orderly house, it makes me feel better. And when my house is falling apart, it's usually because I'm out of balance emotionally. Sometimes it's physical because of migraine, but many times it will be emotional. So we're going to keeping the house tidy. and the cold room working on this big project, and then emotional self-care. Those are all emotional. So I can see, and then these are all, this over here is all intellectual. So I can see kind of that I've made sure that I've hit everything in there. Now, encouraging words and priority. I don't know if these are encouraging words, but in March, I want to get rid of distractions. And all of us have our own distractions, and mine can be watching too much streaming services. And so I want to get rid of that in March. And then my priority is going to be focus. I could have put just focus and put something here different. But for me, when I hear focus, it doesn't mean the same thing as get rid of distractions, which I know for some people it does. But I need to get rid of the distractions so I can focus. So that is my monthly setup for the power sheets. Here we are in our Sterling Ink quarterly goal planning, and I am going to do something different because I plan seasonally. I don't plan quarterly. My brain doesn't work that way, and the 12-week year, I love the concept, but it also doesn't work for me. And I think there's a couple reasons for that. One, I'm a gardener, so I'm always thinking about seasons. Also, I was a homeschool mom for 23 years, 24 years, and everything worked seasonally. You had fall when you started school, you had summer when you had spring, a break, you had spring break, all of those things. So what I'm going to do is change this. I need to white all of this out. Because to me, June is part of the summer. Because these are that pretty gray, I can use this white pen. Now I'm going to title this Spring. And this is where March should go now, but I don't have a March sticker yet. But I am going to do March, April, May. These are from past kits from Graceful Muse Papery. And last year, she didn't have a March kit, so I don't have a March, and I don't have the new March kit for this year. So once I get that, we'll put March in there. So March, April, May are my spring months. And then these are stickers from Sterling Ink. And let's do, we have our March. We have April. And we have May. And this is so satisfying to my brain because this is how I think. Now for March, again, business goes here, business tasks go here. And I'm just going to have the same from last time. So I have film, editing, YouTube comments, Facebook, IG stories, IG reels, admin work, blog posts, blog comments, and email or newsletter. And so my priorities for the spring are going to be to grow in the Word. Okay, so my priorities for this month are to grow in the Word, to get healthy, to grow muscle, to declutter my house, and to start gardening season, which I'm so excited about. And so those are my big overarching goals, and the goals that I have that I put in my power sheets. So I have my goals for March are video 1, video 2, blog post for February for the video 1, blog post for February 2, blog post for March 1, blog post for March 2, cold room, kitchen, entryway cleanup, video course, and working in KDP, which is the Amazon books. Let's go ahead and put a flower in here. For March. I'm going to go ahead and put this up here too, because I think that looks really pretty. Oh, this makes me so happy. Thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate you being here. Just want to remind you, don't forget to put yourself on your list. Put yourself in your planner. I hope that you nurture your mind, your body, and your spirit this week. You are worth it. I hope you have a lovely, lovely day, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.